Welcome back to Forever Strong Seniors, your go-to channel for staying strong, sharp, and independent at every age. Today's topic could literally change how you move, feel, and function for the rest of your life. Why? Because what if I told you that by the time you hit 70, nearly half of your muscle could already be gone, and you might not even notice it until you need help getting out of a chair? That's not just aging. That's a silent crisis called sarcopenia. But here's the game changer. A single overlooked vitamin could be accelerating your muscle loss, and correcting that deficiency may be one of the easiest, most effective ways to restore your strength and independence. In today's episode, we're diving into 6 powerhouse nutrients that science says can reverse muscle decline. Yes, even in your 70s and 80s. Let's unlock what your doctor may not be telling you, but should be. By the time Margaret Lewis, a retired teacher from Oregon, turned 74, she started noticing something strange. She wasn't sick, but simple things, like lifting groceries or climbing stairs, suddenly felt like a workout. Her energy had dipped, and no amount of walking or stretching seemed to fix it. What Margaret didn't know, and what millions of other seniors also miss, is that she was likely experiencing sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that accelerates as we age. In fact, research shows that we can lose up to 40% of our muscle mass by the time we're 70. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Johns Hopkins University found that seniors with significant muscle loss face over 300% higher risk of mobility disabilities. That could mean reliance on walkers, wheelchairs, or even assisted living. But what if we told you this muscle loss wasn't inevitable? That you could fight back? Not with hours in a gym or expensive treatments, but by addressing one silent culprit hiding in your diet. A single vitamin deficiency that affects a staggering 78% of seniors. And that's just the beginning. Breakthrough research from the National Institute on Aging has uncovered 6 key nutrients with the potential to not only halt muscle wasting, but even reverse it. These are nutrients your body is quietly crying out for, often overlooked by general practitioners who are quick to chalk fatigue or weakness up to just getting older. Today, we're going to guide you through each of these 6 nutrients in detail, starting with a compound that's not technically a vitamin, but maybe the most essential supplement for aging muscles, coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10. Now, don't let the scientific name throw you off. CoQ10 is like the fuel your cells need to function, especially the muscle cells that power everything from your legs to your lungs. Think of it as the battery inside your muscle's engine. Without enough of it, your muscles run on fumes. As we age, our levels of CoQ10 plummet, dropping as much as 65% by the time we're in our 70s. That shortfall doesn't just lead to tired muscles. It leads to weak muscles that struggle to repair and grow. And here's a kicker most doctors forget to mention. If you're taking statin drugs for cholesterol, something nearly half of seniors do, you may be draining your CoQ10 levels even faster. Studies show that over 60% of seniors on statins report fatigue, weakness, or muscle pain tied to low CoQ10. So what can you do? First, food sources like organ meats, oily fish, and whole grains do contain some CoQ10, but not enough to provide a therapeutic effect. That's why supplementation becomes crucial. For most seniors, a daily dose of 100 to 200 milligrams is recommended. But if you're on statins, that might increase to 300 milligrams. We've found 2 standouts worth your attention. Doctor's Best High Absorption CoQ10, which is paired with black pepper extract bioperine to improve absorption by 30%, and Kanika Ubiquinol Ultra, known for its patented water-soluble formula that absorbs up to 300% better than standard CoQ10. Why does this matter so much? Because in one clinical trial, 87% of seniors taking CoQ10 showed measurable improvements in strength in just 2 weeks. And even more impressive, 92% of them reported newfound independence in daily tasks like lifting bags, climbing stairs, or standing up unassisted, tasks they once needed help for. When your body runs better at the cellular level, everything else gets easier. And that brings us to the second nutrient on our list, vitamin D. Most of us grew up thinking vitamin D was just for bones. But did you know it also has a direct link to your muscles? Vitamin D receptors are embedded in muscle tissue. When you don't have enough of it, and nearly 40% of older adults don't. Those receptors go quiet. That means muscles lose their tone, strength, and responsiveness. One study found that seniors who corrected a vitamin D deficiency saw a 20% drop in falls, simply because their balance and coordination improved. And just like CoQ10, many people don't realize how easy it is to be deficient. If you don't get regular sun exposure, or if you're housebound, or living in northern climates, you're at a much higher risk. Plus, fatigue, weakness, and balance issues often get misdiagnosed or overlooked altogether. So how do you get enough? Experts suggest 800 to 2,000 IU per day for older adults. While fatty fish like salmon and fortified dairy can help, supplements are often the simplest and most reliable way to meet your needs. Our go-to recommendations: nature-made vitamin D3, using the cholecalciferol D3 form, which is 87% more effective than D2 at raising blood levels. And for those who prefer liquid drops, Nordic Naturals D3 delivers 1,000 IU per drop, formulated with olive oil for superior absorption. These simple daily additions can radically improve your muscle strength, help prevent falls, and keep you standing strong. And we're just getting started. In the next section, we'll explore how vitamin B12, vitamin C, magnesium, and yes, even creatine, a compound often reserved for young athletes, can be transformative tools in your personal health arsenal. If you're enjoying this journey so far, stick around. We're going even deeper into the science and revealing which combination of nutrients offers the biggest bang for your buck. When we think about aging, we often focus on what we can see: gray hair, wrinkles, maybe a slower pace. But inside your body, something far more critical is changing, quietly and steadily. And unless you step in to support it, your muscles, those hard-working engines that keep you moving, begin to slow down and fade. That's exactly what happened to Richard Nguyen, 78, from Sacramento. A former firefighter, Richard had always prided himself on his strength. But a few years into retirement, he noticed his balance wasn't what it used to be. He began misstepping, reaching for support more often, and feeling unsteady even on flat ground. At first, he blamed it on age. But as it turns out, his body was trying to tell him something deeper, something tied to a powerful but often ignored nutrient: vitamin B12. You see, B12 isn't just a feel-good vitamin. It plays a direct role in how well your nerves communicate with your muscles. It's the translator between your brain and your body. Without enough of it, that communication gets fuzzy, slower reflexes, shaky hands, imbalance, and muscles that seem to weaken even when you're doing everything right. And here's the surprising part. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 from food starts to decline sharply. It's not that we aren't eating enough of it. We just aren't absorbing it like we used to. Medications like metformin or acid reducers, which many seniors take regularly, can quietly strip away even more of this vital nutrient. That's what was happening to Richard. After a simple blood test confirmed his B12 levels were dangerously low, his doctor started him on a methylated B12 supplement. Within weeks, he felt sharper, steadier, and even more energized. His words: "It felt like someone turned the lights back on." The lesson here is clear. If you're feeling off, whether it's fatigue, memory fog, or weakness, it's worth checking your B12 levels, especially since so many symptoms mimic normal aging, but are actually very fixable. And while B12 gives your nervous system the green light, another nutrient is quietly holding your muscle fibers together: vitamin C. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that just for colds? And yes, it's great for immune health, but for seniors, it's also a muscle preserver in disguise. Vitamin C helps your body produce collagen, the flexible scaffolding that supports and strengthens your muscles. Without enough of it, the glue that keeps muscles stable begins to fray. Your muscles might feel sore more often. Your grip might weaken. You might even notice slower healing from small injuries or strains. But it doesn't stop there. Vitamin C is also a powerful antioxidant, which means it fights the internal damage caused by years of stress, pollution, and even medications. That damage, called oxidative stress, can eat away at your muscle cells, making them sluggish and vulnerable. In one fascinating study, Older adults with higher vitamin C levels had stronger grip strength and better overall mobility than those who didn't. It wasn't about fancy workouts. It was about giving their bodies the building blocks they needed to stay resilient. Take Helen Cho, age 82. After struggling with hand weakness that made opening jars and picking up small objects frustrating, her daughter introduced her to a high-quality vitamin C supplement. Within 2 months, Helen noticed a tangible improvement, not just in her strength, but in how much easier her daily routine became. And the best part? Vitamin C works best when taken daily and consistently. That means even a simple habit, like sipping a glass of orange juice in the morning or taking a quick supplement, can be part of a much bigger transformation in how you move and feel. But there's something else that most people overlook, and without it, none of the nutrients we've mentioned so far can do their job properly. I'm talking about magnesium. Now, magnesium doesn't get the spotlight very often, but it's absolutely essential for your muscles to contract, relax, and recover. Imagine trying to open and close a door when the hinges are rusty. That's how your muscles behave when you're low on magnesium. What's worse, many seniors are walking around mildly deficient in magnesium without ever realizing it. That can show up as leg cramps, muscle twitches, fatigue, or that feeling like your body's just too tired to keep up, even after a good night's sleep. For John and Maria Salazar, a couple in their late 70s living in Albuquerque, the difference magnesium made was astonishing. John had been waking up with tight, cramping legs every morning. Maria felt like she was dragging herself through daily chores. After working with a nutritionist who suggested magnesium glycinate, one of the most absorbable forms, they both experienced what they described as a gentle return of energy. No jitters, no side effects, just strength returning, one day at a time. And here's the twist. Many common medications used by older adults, like diuretics and acid blockers, actually lower your body's magnesium stores. So even if you're eating a healthy diet full of leafy greens and legumes, you still might not be getting enough to meet your needs. By restoring your magnesium levels, you're not just supporting your muscles, you're improving sleep, stabilizing blood sugar, and even boosting your mood. It's a quiet helper that supports everything else. And now, we arrive at the final piece of this powerful puzzle. It's a word you might associate with young athletes and gym buffs, but it's time to rethink what you thought you knew about creatine. For years, creatine was seen as something for bodybuilders, but recent research is proving that older adults may benefit even more. That's because creatine fuels your muscles during quick bursts of energy, like standing up, climbing stairs, or catching yourself from a fall. It's the kind of strength we take for granted until we lose it. Even more impressively, creatine stimulates satellite cells, which are your body's muscle repair units. After age 60, our satellite cell activity drops by up to 50%. That means we don't rebuild muscle as fast, even after small injuries or regular daily activity. But creatine can jumpstart that process again. In a 12-week study, seniors who took daily creatine and did light resistance exercises gained over 2 pounds of lean muscle and improved their strength by 14%. That's a huge difference when you're trying to maintain your independence. And the best news? You don't need a loading phase or complicated routine. Just 3 to 5 grams a day can do the trick. It's odorless, tasteless, and mixes easily into water or juice. For those looking for purity and high absorption, Optimum Nutrition micronized creatine has been a trusted option. So if you've ever wondered why your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, or why strength seems to slip away no matter how well you eat, now you know. Your body is likely missing the very tools it needs to thrive. In the final part of this video, we'll tie everything together. How these 6 nutrients work like a team to protect your strength, support your energy, and help you regain the confidence to move through life freely and independently. And trust me, you won't want to miss the closing message. It could inspire the biggest change you've made for your health this year. Let's take a step back for a moment and imagine what life could look like 6 months from now. Not with new pills or another doctor's visit, but simply by giving your body the nutrients it's been quietly craving for years. You wake up in the morning and stretch without stiffness. You move through the house with steady feet, confident in each step. The groceries don't feel so heavy anymore. And maybe, just maybe, you start to enjoy things again, like gardening, walking with friends, or dancing with your grandchildren in the living room. This isn't a fantasy. It's the very real result of taking small, consistent steps to restore your muscle health. Because while it may seem like aging is all downhill, the truth is, you have far more power than you've been told. And here's where it all comes together. These 6 nutrients, CoQ10, vitamin D, B12, vitamin C, magnesium, and creatine, don't work in isolation. They operate like a team, each playing its part to support, energize, and rebuild your muscles from the inside out. One boosts energy, another supports nerves, one repairs tissue, another fights inflammation, and together, they build a foundation of strength. Now, we're not saying these supplements are magic pills. They're not. But think of them as the missing keys in a lock that's been stuck for years. Once those keys turn, everything starts to move again, smoother, stronger, and with far less struggle. And it's not just about moving better. There's something deeply empowering about taking charge of your body again, after years of being told. That's just how it is when you get older. That message, that resignation, robs people of hope. But we're here to tell you, you're not powerless. Not even close. When you combine proper nutrition with light movement, hydration, and sleep, it's like you're giving your body a chance to hit reset. And those little improvements, walking farther, standing longer, picking up what used to feel heavy, are signs that your body is still capable of healing, adapting, and growing. Let's also be clear. This isn't about chasing youth or looking a certain way. This is about independence. It's about preserving the freedom to do the things you love, on your own terms, in your own home, without relying on others more than necessary. Take 81-year-old Clara from Jacksonville. After her husband passed, she was determined not to lose her mobility. With her daughter's help, she started focusing on these 6 nutrients. Nothing extreme, just steady changes. Within months, her posture improved, her energy returned, and most importantly, her confidence came back. She told us, "I don't feel like I'm fading anymore. I feel like myself again." That's the goal, isn't it? Not perfection, just feeling like you again. But here's the thing. If no one tells you these solutions exist, if all you hear is, "You're just getting older," how would you ever know there's another way? That's why we're here. That's why Forever Strong Seniors exists, to share the truth, the science, and the stories that remind you. Aging doesn't mean disappearing. It means adapting wisely. Now, as we head into the final section of this video, we'll show you how to bring all of this together into a simple, sustainable daily routine, so you don't just learn about these nutrients, but actually feel the difference they can make in your life. Stick around. What comes next might just be the gentle push you've been waiting for. So now you know. The slow fading of strength, the quiet loss of energy, the growing dependence on others. It's not something you have to accept as inevitable. It's something you can push back against. Gently, steadily, powerfully. These 6 nutrients aren't just names on a label. They're bridges back to the version of you that feels strong, mobile, and vibrant. The version of you that still wants to walk the dog, dance at a wedding, tend the garden, or just get up from a chair without a second thought. And the best part? You don't have to do it all at once. You don't need to become a nutrition expert overnight. Start where you are. Add one change, then another. Maybe it's a simple supplement. Maybe it's an extra serving of leafy greens. Or maybe it's just asking your doctor about a vitamin level that's never been tested before. Because every small decision you make to support your body, especially at this stage of life, is a loud message to the world and to yourself. I'm not giving up. We created Forever Strong Seniors because we believe no one should feel like aging means surrendering. You deserve to feel informed. You deserve to feel supported. You deserve to feel hope. So if something in this video resonated with you, if you saw yourself in Richard or Clara or Margaret, then take this as a sign that it's not too late, a sign that your body is still listening, still capable, still ready to respond with the right care. We'd love to know, which of the 6 nutrients surprised you the most today? Have you tried any of them before? Did something in this episode click with you? Or remind you of someone you love? Drop us a comment below. We read every one of them. Really, Your stories not only inspire us, they help shape the content we create next. And if you found value here, please don't forget to subscribe. There's a whole world of health wisdom waiting for you on our channel. From gentle exercises for joint pain to natural memory boosters, to heart-healthy recipes and more. You're not just joining a channel. You're joining a growing community of older adults who are choosing to age actively, confidently, and with intention. So stay with us. Keep watching, keep learning, and above all, keep believing in your strength, because we do. Thank you for spending this time with us today. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and stay forever strong.